Les from Delta. Today we are going to be talking about how to calibrate a PosiTector 6000. So first we're gonna get this little guy back on, and while that turns on and does its thing, let's talk about the probe. This is just standard magnetic induction probe. First thing, if you don't know, make sure you take the protective cover off. Unlike other manufacturers, say Alcometer, you cannot measure through this cap. It is just to protect the tip of your probe when it's not in use. So we are going to now do our calibration. So we're going to hit this middle button here. It's the one that's got the raised dots on it, and that's going to take us into the menu, and we want to come down to Cal Settings. Cal obviously stands for calibration. We have a couple different options while we're in here. Let's talk about them. 0 would be if you just needed to normalize your readings. Say you just wanted to reset your 0 point on a different substrate, different steel alloy. This is how you would do that. We do a 1 point adjustment where we would just use one standard, but as always, I highly recommend you do a 2 point adjustment, and that is going to really dial in your calibration with a low and a high value. You want those low and high values to really bookend your range that you're looking at. Today our hypothetical range is going to be somewhere between 0.5 mil and 1.5 mils. First thing you need to do after you select your 2 point calibration, it wants to know, okay, how many readings are we going to take on that first point? I would recommend a minimum of 5 readings. So we're going to hit our plus to increase our average number, and then we will put our standard on top of our sample steel. This is just the usual cold mill steel that we always use. Nice and simple, and we're just going to start measuring, and it's going to show us, right? We put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, we need to adjust this first point. You can see on here our standard is rated at a 0.48, so we need to decrease this to as close to 0.48 as we can get. Typically you would want to set your unit to the exact same number as your standard. However, as you can see, you can only go up by 0.05 increments. So we're going to say that 0.5 is the closest. And we're going to hit next. Again, how many readings do we want to take for our second point? 5 is a great number, always gives you a good average. Switch our standards, and get that on the note. You always want to go in strong when you are taking measurements, particularly when you are doing calibration. measurements. All of these units have multiple sensors. One is a proximity and one is a micro switch that says, okay, we really have made contact. You want those two to engage as close to the same time as possible, and the only way to do that is to go in nice and quick. Again, we're going to adjust our second point, decreasing from 0.65 down to as close to our 137 as we can get. I would say that 135 is closer than 1.4. Hopefully that's not going to put you out of spec because you've got already probably 0.05 mils of built-in uncertainty. Let's hit next, and that completes the calibration. The only thing left to do would be to do a verification, and I would highly recommend having a verification standard that's in the middle of your range that you want to coat, so you can test your calibrations. Obviously we've done the high and the low, but let's make sure now that the middle is good. I've got a 0.9 mil, 0.95 on it, and I would say that's going to be as good as we can expect off of this unit. Les here, just wanted to thank you for stopping by. I know your time is really valuable, so I'm only going to take up a couple seconds of it. Just wanted you to know that there really are people here ready to help you. If you can't find what you're looking for here, you have the option of calling us, emailing us, or messaging us. Looking forward to hearing from you if you need any help.